别人的门。
苦海无边，灭阴夜，
还我灭毒印。
不是想造反吗？
好的不学，学人家堵门。
或许他们已经出手了。
你若是杀了他，我就杀了你。
打不过就下毒。
我太学院是当今第一学府，如今却要灭门了吗？
徒弟呀，总是被别人堵门不是办法。我不去。本我金刚身。
这才落败。
尊剑系。
对，何亏撒家！也烈怀小，谁敢蹑兄蹑弟？包子，
你又凶。这人怎么比星期二还凶
？Inside the hall, Donghua tossed the severed head aside and unfurled a scroll map. His eyes scanned it carefully, making sure of the treasury's location within the golden palace of Roland. He was certain it lay right next to the main hall. Once the direction was confirmed, he prepared to move, but a sharp pain ran through his shoulder. Nearly mistaking the wrong medicine, he finally dripped a liquid called dragon saliva from a jade vial. At once, the wound closed. Returning the vial, he tightened his grip on the junior guardian's sword and advanced toward the next grand hall. At the entrance, a guardian awaited. His body shimmered gold, a turtle shell covering his back, and his wide mouth resembled a frog's. Recognizing Donghua, he looked puzzled at the man's arrival. Calmly, Donghua explained he had brought a precious sword as tribute, hoping to exchange it for other treasures. The guardian gazed at the sword with awe. In his opinion, few riches in the palace could match its worth, and he was sure the grand shaman would reward such an offering with something extraordinary. The doors opened. Donghua asked permission to choose a treasure, and the guardian agreed, though only to view, not to take, until the grand shaman granted approval. Delighted, Donghua stepped inside with the turtle guardian. The guardian activated a talisman shaped like a strange box. Once vital qi was infused, glowing runes flared, projecting transparent cubes in the air. Inside, tiny, monstrous figures stirred restlessly, as if ready to leap out and devour. Donghura's heartbeat quickened. He knew those figurines were forged from the souls of powerful cultivators, each designed to kill. The talisman continued to release runes, touching cube after cube, which gradually receded and vanished, revealing countless translucent statues within. The process of unsealing was far too complex to be done without the talisman. From all 14 sides, runes revolved, opening a path inward. The turtle guardian led the way. Donghua followed. They passed a long corridor before emerging into an open chamber. The golden hall ahead was far more vast than it seemed from outside. Towering pillars lined the room, with golden altars neatly arranged, each holding strange and wondrous treasures. The guardian said the junior guardian's sword had to be placed in the innermost chamber. He even praised Donghua, admitting envy. Donghua smiled proudly, then revealed a jade vial filled with sacred liquid. Its fragrance carried a sense of immortality. The guardian's eyes lit up. Half-jokingly, he asked to taste the immortal elixir. Donghua hesitated but could not refuse. The guardian chuckled, uncorked the vial, and inhaled deeply. Before he could say another word, his body stiffened. He collapsed, a frozen smile fixed on his face. Donghua quickly sealed the jade vial again, careful not to breathe in its scent. Producing an empty flask, he siphoned the poisonous air, then shoved it into the guardian's mouth. After ensuring the guardian would remain unconscious for a long time, he breathed in relief. Suddenly, his skin peeled away. From within emerged another figure, Kinmu. He had disguised himself using a demonic path technique, though he admitted with disgust that he loathed relying on such extremes. Taking the junior guardian's sword, Kinmu searched the guardian's body. Finding nothing of value, he pressed on. Activating the sky eye, runes filled his pupils. Every seal and altar was now visible, each guarded by terrifying soul statues. The talisman in his hand was not a key to open these altars. His time was limited, for outside, Ling Yuxiu could not possibly hold the enemies at bay for long. Kinmu darted from altar to altar. He saw treasures from various heretic paths, rune-engraved human skin, skull bowls, skin drums, and venomous banners. Yet there were also pure golden relics clearly crafted by sorcerer kings, and even artifacts beyond their doctrines: a 1,000-ribbon pagoda, a Buddha sarira, sword bullets, a cursed goken, and a broken blade. His steps halted at an altar inscribed with a body cultivation scripture, part of the 3 elixirs of the sovereign body. Though incomplete, he had no time to study it. He rushed on until reaching the end of the treasury, where a lower body wrapped in golden light lay. Its aura was terrifying. He suspected it belonged to the Grand Shaman, or perhaps the stolen and perfected remains of the butcher ancestor. The thought sent a chill through him. The altar's seal blocked his approach. He recalled the teachings of his crippled master. The technique Heavenly Hand steals the sun. Combining 2 arts, his body shot forward like lightning. With that agility, he snatched treasures from altars without triggering their seals. One after another, the altars were emptied until laughter burst from his chest. But Kinmu remembered. The thrill of theft often brings disaster, just as his crippled master had lost a leg. He began choosing more carefully. He tested a heavy bullet, which unfolded into deadly spinning blades, weaponry of the Barbardi army. He picked up the broken sword, though it seemed plain. The cursed Guken radiated malice, convincing him it was forged from demonic souls. When reaching for a bone hand, a flash of thunder struck his mind, and divine language echoed. He instantly discarded it, realizing it was likely a god's remains. Carefully, he stuffed it into the sack using the guardian's sword. The sack itself was a spatial artifact. Everything he tossed inside shrank to the size of sesame seeds, yet returned to normal when withdrawn. Peering in, he saw a vast space, 7 meters high, its depth unfathomable. Kinmu grinned. He was no longer just a thief of altars, but the master of a secret treasury he could carry in a single bag. He began arranging his spoils. All important items he returned inside: swords, bullets, the cursed Guken, the pagoda, even the golden body he had found. He gathered smaller items as well, anything portable. Before long, the sack grew heavy, though still bearable. To disguise it, he covered it with clothing. After taking enough treasures, he grabbed several cauldrons, including a large one tightly sealed, clearly of great value. The grotesque artifacts crafted from human bones by the shaman sect he left behind, unwilling to touch them any longer. Realizing his time was nearly up, Kinmu prepared to search for Ling Yuxiu. This time, he no longer wore the skin disguise, but instead reshaped himself into a follower of the Golden Palace. With the creation technique from the Grand Doctrine's demon scripture, his skin shimmered faintly gold, making him resemble a young shaman. He unfolded the palace map once more, studied it briefly, then tucked it away. The sealing talisman in his hand flared to life as he recited one by one the memorized numbers. Each number lit up the talisman's sides, spinning runes that unraveled the locks. The barrier cubes slowly retreated, opening a way out. Calmly, Kinmu broke through from within, shattered the talisman with the junior guardian sword, and made his way to the potion storeroom. There, a grand shaman glanced at the list Kinmu carried. "You intend to brew an elixir?" he asked with suspicion. Kinmu only gave a short nod, feigning honesty. He added a request for dried fig of the red pearl grass. When the goods were handed over, he noticed his payment was short. With a sharp tone, Kinmu accused the shaman of cheating. The man protested furiously, but Kinmu stood firm, even threatening to report him to the shaman king. They wrestled over the money pouch. Suddenly, a jade bottle fell and shattered, releasing a piercing fragrance. Instantly, the shaman collapsed unconscious. The scent spread quickly, felling other shamans around the storeroom. Kinmu immediately checked his side, retrieved the sealed cauldron, and began mixing a new concoction, this time making the narcotic dose 10-fold stronger. He worked swiftly. Vital fire boiled the mixture violently. When the cauldron opened, pink smoke rose, blanketing the entire mountain. Fortunately, the red fig in his mouth neutralized the poison. Using a wind technique, he spread the fumes wider until the whole palace drowned in the narcotic mist. Anyone who inhaled it fell unconscious. Without delay, Kinmu rushed to the grand hall. He conjured 3 water orbs infused with the black turtle's vital chi, placing red figs inside each. With a snap of his fingers, the fig's energy surged, ripening the orbs for use. Carrying them, he sprinted toward the gates. From afar, golden light blazed as shamans, kings fled in panic. They thought a deadly poison had consumed the mountain. Kinmu found Ling Yuxiu, Hulinger, and the green bull already unconscious. He quickly fed them the red figs. Slowly they awoke, still weak. Kinmu warned that the shaman kings would not stay down for long. Chancellor Bossen or someone of equal rank would surely come soon. They had to flee at once. In the chaos, Kinmu carried Hulinger into his pack, grasped the dazed Ling Yuxiu by the hand, and pulled along the groggy green bull. Though weak, he forced them down the mountain at speed. Ling Yuxiu gave a faint smile, whispering with relief that Kinmu was alive. But he said nothing, only ran faster. At the foot of the mountain, they found a goat-faced shaman slumped half inside a boat. Kinmu flipped him aside and tried to set the boat afloat, only to discover the lake's water had no buoyancy. Channeling vital chi into a bamboo pole, he etched glowing sigils, finally making the boat move. Though fast, Kinmu still felt pressed for time, knowing the shamans would soon recover and give chase. Sure enough, as they reached the opposite shore, the green bull panicked that Chancellor Bossen was left behind. Kinmu calmed him, saying the Chancellor could save himself. They leapt onto land, the figs having purged the poison completely. The green bull reverted to his mighty true form. The 3 mounted him and soared through the clouds. The wind lashed their faces, painful yet proof of their incredible speed. Hulinger stirred awake, nearly thrown off, but managed to cling on. Her small body stiffened like a rod. Kinmu noticed and handed her over to Ling Yuxiu for safety. Hulinger snorted in protest, but found comfort in her gentle embrace. Kinmu kept glancing back. From the palace, golden light gave chase, only to be intercepted by a sudden burst of white radiance. A lightning clash erupted in the skies. Collisions of light birthed colossal skulls, black smoke, and blades of brilliance that split the heavens. The terrifying spectacle faded as distance grew. They fled all day. By dusk, the green bull was exhausted, gulping half a pond dry. An elder from the nearby village appeared, shouting angrily that if he continued, the village would lose its water. The bull shrank to human form, standing upright. Kinmu quickly apologized, explaining their plight. The elder, curious about the green bull, mistook him for a dragon descendant. Both odd and mischievous, the elder suggested marrying him to a village cow. The bull, deeply offended, refused harshly. Holinger only burst out laughing at the scene. At last, the elder invited them to stay the night in the village, which was home only to elders. Ling Yusu agreed, so the bull could rest and they would be safe from pursuit. That night, the tiny village of just 20 houses became their haven. The elders welcomed them warmly, even teasing Kinmu and Ling Yusu as though they were runaway lovers. Ling Yusu's face turned scarlet, while Kinmu merely gave a faint smile. The night passed in peace. At dawn, Kinmu rose early. The village was quiet yet warm, filled with elders tending chickens and herding sheep. Suddenly, unfamiliar voices rang from the gate. 2 men were arguing about the road ahead. Kinmu stepped out and froze. One was a blind man with a staff, the other a half-bodied man wielding 2 massive blades. He knew them well, the blind grandfather and the butcher grandfather.
他狼子实乃我正道大敌，野心要灭天下宗派。
国师的位子我都可以让给你，你想要做官的话，
村长爷爷传授给我的剑，
做仙。
神亦可杀，誓死与他为敌。我道门
就是你的致命